Hey everyone, in this video we're going to learn how to create an Amibroker bot which will transmit message from Amibroker to the Slack using ChatGPT 3. We're going to get some help from the ChatGPT 3 AI bot, and then we're going to generate a VBScript, and using that VBScript probably we're going to build the Amibroker bot which transmit message from Amibroker to Slack. So that's the primary idea. Let's kickstart with the session.
So Amibroker by default supports VBScript and JavaScript codes inside Amibroker. We can do that. Like if you already know VBScript, or if you know JavaScript, core JavaScript I'm talking about, core JavaScript and core VBScript, you can directly call those programming languages inside Amibroker.
By alert.
Amibroker, VBScript and JavaScript. I'm not an expert in VBScript though, but I have some basic idea about it. JavaScript also, I have some basic idea about it. I'm not a hardcore coder in VBScript or JavaScript. I built certain automation in VBScript some time back. JavaScript also, I have some idea about it. Right. So if I want to, first of all, let me close this tab.
By alert.
It keeps on triggering alerts in the backend. So if I want to enable the VBScript, so I'll enable the VBScript in my code. Let's say I'll open a new code, and then I'll say like I'll go and write my VBScript code inside this. This is how I'm going to write it inside my code. Maybe let's say I want to send an alert to my Slack. Let me check. Is there a way I can transmit alert from my Amibroker to Slack? Is there any way I can trigger an alert? There should be some methodology available, right? So we'll try to do that. So what I'm going to do here is, I need a VBScript code to trigger I'm going to transmit message to Slack. Let's see, for that what I'm going to use is like I'm going to use chat.open.ai. Let's ask chat.openai.com to write an VBScript functionality. But somehow today chat.open.ai is getting hanged because many people started already using this. So it's very difficult. I mean, it's been throttling. I think so. Maybe in that case, it'll be a bit difficult to write, and yeah, we got. So write a Slack write a VBScript to send message using Slack webhook. There's a concept called webhook. Webhook is another one form of API only, where I can, using the webhook, I can call from Amibroker using VBScript that is going to transmit that message. So I'll be having some message in Amibroker. That message I have to send it to my Slack particular channel. To Slack channel using Slack webhook. Okay. Let's see. So it's going to generate some webhook URL. So there is a message. This message is what I have to post it. So it had done some decent coding, but the coding, will it work or not? I have to do that. First, I have to create a webhook URL. And then looks like there are no API keys. How come? That's weird though, but let me check. So Slack webhook is what I want to check. Slack webhook. but I'm sure that is not the right code, I think. So here we can go and create an Slack app. I haven't done this yet, but so I'll try one. Sometime back we had our own bot in Slack. In Python we had done that, but I never tried from Amibroker. I give an app name saying like Amibroker Bot, Amibroker Bot. I'll give an app name. Select an workspace. I want to send it to market calls. Create an app. So post messages from external sources like Amibroker. I want to bring Amibroker messages into Slack. It could be an Amibroker alert, or it could be I click of a button. I want to transmit to Slack, something like that. Some message I want to transmit from Amibroker to Slack. So I create an incoming webhook URL. Activate incoming webhooks. Okay, I had activated it. Add a new webhook to workspace. Where should Amibroker should post? Should post to a channel. Let's say Amibroker itself. Okay. Hello. Okay, I think the webhook URL got created. So probably that webhook URL is kind of unique. So means I should not share with anyone. In our case, it's fine. I'll be deleting it because anybody can using this webhook URL, right? Anybody can transmit message. So for time being, for testing purpose only, we're going to do that. I'll keep a copy of that webhook URL. Okay, this is a webhook URL link. It's going to be a secret one. So means I should not reveal to anybody because it is my application. In our case, it's a learning purpose. We are doing it, so it's okay. Anyways, I'll be deleting it later on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring the code which is generated by the chatbot AI. Okay, this is the code which it had done. So I'll copy the code. I'll bring it over here. I don't need all this stuff. This webhook URL, right? I'm going to use it mine. Okay. As of now, I'm not adding any controls as such. So I'm going to call it as a routine sub procedure. I'm going to call it like something like a function. I have to create it. So more or less in Telegram also I'm using the same methodology. So I have to create like a function here. I'm creating a function. All these are like related to VBScript. I'll say like Slack. Slack is a function name I'm just creating. Then I'll end with an end sub. End sub. Okay. So VBScript, the problem is like it doesn't end with a semicolon. So that is how it is. So anyways, message I'll be getting it externally, not from here. So I'm going to remove that payload message. So the payload message, I have to send it in this format only. Okay, anyways, for time being, what we will do, we will try to use this itself. So I'm not going to send any message from here. going to be an empty one. So now this is like VBScript. I had a function, and this function is like, I am the one who created a function, Slack function. The Slack will call the browser, so virtual browser, and then to this URL, it will transmit this message in a text format. So that should automatically reflect in my Amibroker, in my Slack. So, but I want a trigger only on the trigger of a button only. I want to send it. So I'm going to create a trigger also in this case. So I'm going to create a trigger. Trigger equal to, I'm going to use a control called param trigger. Param trigger. Param trigger will remain false unless I click the button. The moment I click the button, the trigger will become 1. And it triggers the functionality, and again it becomes back to 0, right? So I'm going to use a simple trigger thing. It's going to be a button, kind of a flip-flop button, kind of. So I'll write send alert. This button called send alert. If I click on that button, it will become true. If I remove that, if I click and then it'll remove, automatically it'll become false. So that is how it is. So now what I'm going to do here is, if trigger is pressed, if the trigger is becoming true, if trigger is becoming true, it becomes true and immediately it becomes false. That is how it is. It is very momentarily. So I have to transmit Slack alert. Transmit alert to Slack. Of course, you can send alert to Slack, Telegram, Discord, even SMS also possible. Because SMS also these days are just a bunch of APIs only. You call the API, it's a post API or get URL, and then transmit the message. SMS will be sent. That is how these days SMS are. Bulk SMS providers. A lot of bulk SMS providers does that. So here, if I want to transmit the alert, I have to call the function Slack, but this is a VBScript function. If a VBScript function, if I want to access in my Amibroker, what I have to do is like I have to do something called I create like a message equal to get script object. I have to create a script object over here like this. So that means whatever the VBScript that we had created, for that it creates an object and it assigns to message. So now I can call the function using message dot Slack. If I do that, it will create a it will create an what? It will call that function. So if I press the button, it creates an object, and that object can refer VBScript. So that object dot function, which is nothing but the Slack function, it should call this particular VBScript. So this should transmit the message to Amibroker. Let's see that if this works, then we can make something a little bit more beautiful also. We can beautify it. So quant, as I was saying, this is the first time I'm trying it out. I'm not sure whether it will work or not. If it is working, it's well and good. Hopefully it should work because it is not that complex though. The Slack alert. I want to say like this is a test message from Amibroker. Let me save it. I also need candlestick also. So let me bring candlestick as well. Candlesticks. Maybe here also we'll bring that section, begin section, end stuff, which is totally missing at this point. So I'll say like Slack alert. Nobody had done this, but let's see. If we are the first one we're going to do, we are the first one we're going to do with the help of AI bot. Okay, let's go to Amibroker. What do you think, will trigger the alert or not? I am pretty nervous here. Okay, right click, I'll close. I'll also open window log also. Sometimes if there's any error, it will be captured under runtime error. I close this alert output. Right click, go to parameters. I'm gonna go to the parameter tab. I'm gonna click on the send alert. If there is any messages there, it should go through properly. Click on send alert. No runtime error, that means code is executing, but did it trigger any alert in our Slack? Let's go and check. So that's the Slack community. I go to marketcalls.slack.com. Did I receive any alert? I think I'm getting some ding sound. That means in my mobile, I got some alert. Yes. You see that? That means it is working fine. Maybe I'll show you, I'll transmit to the different message. Using VBScript. Using VBScript. So that's a simple VBScript though. Now this message is what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna show you side by side. Maybe I think it might be a little bit delayed though. I'll use function windows towards the left and Amibroker towards the right. I'm gonna click on send alert. You see that there's a test message from Amibroker using VBScript. So I'll click on send and send and send. It keeps on sending. See, the application, one application is communicating to another application using APIs. So cool, right? I mean, for me, it is cool. I love this. That's how the same thing AlgoMojo is also doing. AlgoMojo, whenever the signal is coming, it's transmitting instantly to AlgoMojo, and AlgoMojo is punching orders in the broker account. Okay, so that's a pretty cool stuff. Slack alert we had done with the help of chatbot. So a big thanks to the chatbot as well. So because the chatbot is the one which given us a simple instruction to code this, a simple VBScript, which I never know how to build this and complete code. So somehow the chatbot helped me to do that. I know since I already built for Telegram, I know all these things, but I don't know which URL to call, how to set up. So I think everything you had seen that, right? All right, so now we're going to enhance it a little bit. So what are we going to do here is like whenever there's a buy signal is going to happen, I'm going to send a buy alert. When sell signal is going to happen, I'm going to send a sell alert to my Slack community. Okay, wait. Show you how to do that. It's very simple. First, I'm going to create a couple of controls over here. Right. So the control is like this is the one which is going to be unique because this is the one which says like the bot, whatever I created, the Slack webhook which I created is connected to that particular channel. Okay, so this one I'm going to keep it with that. I'm going to say like and I'll call it as an S URL, or I'll say like webhook. Yes, webhook. Okay, this S webhook is what I have to define externally. Because tomorrow, if I want to give it, I cannot say like you have to go through this URL, change the URL to your own URL. So I should say like maybe I should say like the entire URL itself, you copy it and then you paste it in a param string. So I want to say like webhook URL. I want to create a control. Webhook URL equals so param str. It's more of a string content. Slack webhook URL. So what are the webhook URL you connected? That URL is what I'm just applying over here. Okay. Now this webhook URL is an Amibroker variable. However, any Amibroker variable, if I want to bring it inside the VBScript variable, there is some conversion need to be done. So I'll show you how the conversion is done. So here is a sample example where I taken such kind of things. Like this is a function to do the VBScript variable and Amibroker variable. We're going to connect over here. It's exactly the same thing I'm going to do here also. I'll say like yes, Webhook is the VBScript variable and AFL.var is the Amibroker variable. So I am picking up from the Amibroker variable, I'm storing inside the VBScript variable. Okay. Such kind of things we have to do that. And this webhook is what I'm going to assign it to the URL. The URL over here is going to be straight away, it's going to be a S webhook. So to that URL, I'm going to transmit this particular message. Okay, even this message also, I have to take it in a different manner. How to do that? This is the text content, so I have to break the text here. For that, I'm going to send a message over here or transmit like a message. Message plus variable. This message is what I'm going to pass it inside the function. So means I'll say like test function. Inside that I'll say like this is a test from Amibroker. Or I'll say like alert text. I'm putting a variable called alert text. So I'll say alert text equal to is a value. So this alert text is what I'm transmitting inside my function. That alert text is sent to the Slack function. It is reached in the form of message variable. That message is what I'm using over here. Okay. So now let me save the code. I'll apply the code here. Let's check. Are we able to get that value properly? Right click parameters. I send an alert. Yes, it's happening properly. That means we have done a beautiful, reasonably a beautiful code to transmit alert with the help of an chatbot AI.